Hey guys, Jeff here, and welcome back to my shed series. Today is roof day, and I'm going to be doing the fastest, easiest, cheapest, best DIY roof system in the world today, right now. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about before we jump into how to build the roof is you got to know the end from the beginning. And so in my situation, we're going to be building a roof, we're going to be putting in a waterproofing barrier, and then we're going to be adding the galvanized sheet metal. The reason for that is because our weather is getting a little bit more, how should we say, torrent. And we want to have a roof that has also got some hail capacity and really extreme weather and heavy snow load. So this is a great solution for us. If you want to build this roof without the sheet metal, I get it. We've done that before. That roof was 4 years ago we built that shed, and that roof is still in great condition today. So these sheet roof panels here are actually 38 inches. Okay? But when you go to the store to buy them, they call them a 36-inch piece of material. And that is because these are designed to have the last rib of one sheet overlap the other sheet. All right? And that is what happens. Once you overlap it, you end up with a 36-inch piece of material. That's how much coverage you get, is 36. So we're going to get 36 and then 36, and our third piece, once it's overlapped, becomes 38. Put all that together, we're actually 9 foot 2 inches, okay? Now, when we originally built our shed, we put the posts in the ground, we measured off, the outside of the post would be at 9 feet exactly. So the first thing we're gonna do today is compensate for the fact that we're a little bit short and add 1 inch board on each side, which is a 5/4 deck board. I'm gonna have Matt rip that in half. We'll stick one on each side, mark it, get the angles right, build out our roof to the right dimension, and then we'll jump into building our actual roof. There we go. We have two sides to this board now. We've got a cut side and a sealed side. We're going to put the cut side up because our roofing system has a sheet good plus a membrane that's going to go over and down the side, so it's not going to ever be exposed, so it doesn't need to be treated. Here we go. Now you could do this by yourself if you want. You could just put a screw in this end and then go to the other side and screw it up and then measure it, but I got a helper right here, nice and handy. Overlap on your end as well?
Yep.
Enough that you can get an easy pencil mark in there?
Yep.
I'm holding it in position. We can both trace from here.
Good.
The highest point, okay?
We're flush to the top here?
Yes, sir. Okay?
Yep.
Good. You gonna go cut that for me?
Okay.
Perfect. Oy. Okay. Okay, beautiful. I get it. This kind of construction system is completely backwards to traditional thinking. So you need to actually watch the whole system, be assembled, and then realize, aha, he did account for this, he did account for that. But if you have questions as you're going along, jump in the comments and let me know. You don't have to follow my design, right? You can do your own design. And if you need help with that, just consider joining our membership program. Hit the join button in the bottom corner of the screen, and for $5 a month, you can become a member, and then I'll be able to help you out on our Discord. You can send me pictures, and we can troubleshoot together if you run into weird situations that you just don't know how to tackle on your own. Okay. We want to be able to measure the front and the back now. And somewhere to write that down isn't a bad idea. 109.5, okay? That is 9 feet, 1.5. So I'm almost exactly the size I need for my sheet metal, which means that when I'm installing my sheet metal, I can cheat a little bit. Remember, it's designed to expand and contract. That's what the ribs are for. So when we're installing, if we're a little bit long, we can just force it into position and screw it down. It's not going to be this or that. All right, let's check the other side. All right, thank you. There we go. Oh, I'm 110 here, perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm a little out of square, not a big deal. All right, and this is the whole point. It doesn't matter, you don't have to be perfect. This kind of construction, all you gotta do is get close, so the system will work for you just fine. Now you'll see that we're extended just a touch, all right? So that our new roof line will actually come right to here, right to this point, all the way across. That makes this inside and underneath. All right, so this becomes where like a drip edge almost in effect. So during wind-driven rain, it'll come off the back, blow to here, and then come to here and run down. Okay, so how many studs do we need? We're going to count every red square across, right? So 1 to start, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7, and then 1 at the end makes 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And then, right? And then 2 more, because we're going to double up each end.
Okay.
Okay, so we need 9 at 92 and a half.
92.5.
That's our cut, okay?
Out of 2x4?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So here we are. These are 10-foot 2x4s, which is longer than the 9 and change that I need. So this one is 109, whoops, and a half, and this is 110, okay? But the way this works is this. Here we go. We're gonna go 1 stud there, 1 stud there, up to 3 inches, right? But we're just gonna mark our 16s and X the right side. We don't have to consider with this roof where the screw locations are for the metal, because we're not doing a traditional metal roof where you put up a frame and then you cross frame with 1x2s and put the metal direct, all right? We're actually gonna do a solid roof decking. So that changes the entire dynamic here about how we do our layout. Now, if you wanna go with that system, you're more than welcome to. But the reason I'm doing this way, because I have an overhang, and I want my overhang to have a tongue and groove wood on the surface of my deck. So from the underside that I see, I get that beautiful tongue and groove overhang on my wood. It's going to be an absolute sexy beast. Here we go, 109 and a half. And this one is 110, 2 X's. Okay. We're just using 3-inch screws. And just to jump ahead of the questions, I'll give you an idea on my system. Once we have it in there, in place, we're going to take these, we'll be driving them through into the top plates on all 4 corners, maybe a couple in the middle, especially across the top, just so that when we get those high wind days, a couple days a year, there's an upward lift on this roof. These are holding in place. That's going to be my basic first line of defense here. And part of the system for this roof is to double up the side, because this goes over top of the 2x4 that's already there. Then there's an airspace, and then there's that piece of deck board that we put. So this will end up capping all of that lumber and creating a, for the lack of a better concept, the inability for the mice to get in. All right, and I'm just going to work my way down. I picked up a bunch of these. Not a bad idea. This is tongue and groove. Now I know it's pine. It's indigenous to the area. It's not designed for exterior without a treatment, but it is going to be on the underside of the roof, so I don't care. Here we go. Just going to install it with an overhang. So we're going to have this installed groove side down, so it's visible from the underside. Go flush to your board and flush to the front. Beautiful. Oh, you dropped your drill. You dropped your drill.
Hold on.
We got ladders everywhere here, don't we? Yep. To the waist. And when you'll feel it when it starts to want to lift. Are we square?
We can square it off up there.
Are you good?
We just got to get it up.
All right, grab that 2x4 and I'll push from back here if you want to direct me from the other side. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, push forward till we get to the overhang. And I feel like it's got to go right.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on a second. That's perfect. And then you get your hands in a position where you can go another 1.5 feet forward, and I'll let you know when I level off. Push. And a little bit more. Okay. Now the secret here is for us to get that corner flush to that corner, and that corner flush over there, okay? Push the, where this post is,
To the post.
come back about there. Done. You got it, perfect. Now do something to attach that one. So here we go. Now guys, in previous deck videos, I've used hurricane clips, I've used different kinds of straps, I've used just screws because our weather isn't that severe. But then, what was it, 2 years ago, we had some crazy storm that came through here, ripped out about 1 million trees and just snapped them in half like toothpicks. It was the craziest thing. And so now I've adjusted my building style for these temporary outdoor structures to be a little bit more aggressive, all right? So here we go. Structural screws right through into the other plate, which is structural screwed to the 4x4, which is structurally screwed to the floor package. This thing ain't going anywhere unless the whole building goes away. One and done. Oh, nice compression, eh? That was sweet. All right. So the question is, do we prefer to have my blocking set deeper like this side or shorter to the facade of this side? So A or B? You guys can vote. Now I'm going to go and build what I think is nicer. Okay, that's it. And I'm just going to go flush with the existing header. All right, Matt, go ahead and beat the tar out of it now if you need to. Okay, so there we go. We got decorative boards. We got it anchored. We finish square on the groove side of the board this time. Which made a little bit of sense, eh, Matt? Because I was going to originally have to rip it, but installing it backwards so that the tongue was sticking out front isn't going to be of any consequence. You'll see when we put the membrane on, we'll finish it and wrap the edge. So I don't care. The whole goal here is to make sure that this decorative wood, which is a lot cheaper when it's pine than cedar, I'm talking $30 a board cheaper, stays dry. All right. All right. Okay. So before I get ahead of myself, we can trim that later once we get the OSB on. I need you to cut a laminating 2x4 here for my OSB. Measurement is 75 1/4. We will get that one screwed in, and then we're ready to put on our sheet goods. Very excited about that. We're just creating a nailing surface here. Oh, I better put that in first. All right, nice and easy. Nothing has to be too complicated about this. That's using your head, Jeff. There we go. Just going to toss in a few screws. I carry 80 pounds each to the other 2x4, so that my OSB can finish on this, and then the next sheet can start on this. That way, one 2x4 every 16 inches continues to carry snow load, but it meets up with our sheet goods. There we go. Okay, well here you go. All right, I like to have the black lines. Yeah, exactly. So when you're doing OSB sheathing, make sure your black lines are facing your nailing surface. The other side is actually a little slipperier, so it can run along the studdings, the joists. All right, and then this also tells you in most cases where your 16 on centers are, give or take. We'll double check when we're up there, but I think everything's gonna be just one stud off.
Okay.
Let's get it up on there. Extend it.
Give it a shot?
Yeah, but right to up. Push it up a little bit. Okay. Does it feel like it's gonna fall over yet?
No, we gotta give it.
We're gonna have to give it a push. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty close there, Matt. What I'm looking at is I just want to get it flush on the outside.
Okay.
So if you can move your ladder to the back left corner. Brilliant. Now, 3/4 to 3/4, it's flush. This is the design so that we can have the pretty overhang, but now our deck surface is actually flush. Down here, you'll see the way that I mark it off. Every one of these black lines on the 16 on center actually comes in contact with the leading edge of one of these joists. I keep on calling them joists or studs. They're actually, it's a roof, it's a rafter. My terminology sucks. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's level, I don't know what a piece of wood is. So what I'm doing is basically the same way that I mark it on the plate. I'd put this line and then I'd put an X where the rafter goes. Yeah, look at that. I'm just treating all these lines like the black mark telling me where the edge is. So I always going to just put a screw to the left of that black mark, and it's perfect every time. As far as the quantity of screws are concerned, over 4 feet you want 5. That's 1 screw at each end, 1 in the middle, and then you split the difference. And what that gives you is 1 screw every 16 inches. Okay? Most roofs that are out there are not built to this standard. Okay? I know in Canada we actually use a 5/8 OSB on roofing. I've seen some areas where they go even thinner than that. They go to like 9/16, which is just feels really thin when you're up there, I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. So what we have here is we have an 8-foot long, right? There you go, there's 96 by 9 feet and 2 inches wide. So the way I did the math is simple. The tongue and groove I bought in 10-foot boards so we could have cutoffs. A 4x8 sheet full. Now I have a 27.25 inch to finish on that sheet that will extend over to here. Okay, and then my cutoff is now 20 inches, but my last piece here is only 7 feet by 14. So this size shed actually utilizes the complete 2 sheets of goods, plus a few boards in order to get the overhang. You're not wasting any money, and you're not wasting any time. This is awesome. Okay, same thing, lines up, grooves facing me. Okay, I got it, and I'll wait for you to come spin it around. Beautiful. Okay, one second here, Matt. I'm looking at the groove, it looks pretty rough. 1 second. When this happens, if you don't get in here and clean it out, and make sure that there's somewhere for this tongue here to get inside there, we're gonna have an issue. All right, you're gonna slide it up to me. Moving all the way to the left to the corner is exposed.
Your left or my left?
Your left, sir. I always give directions based on what you're contending with. All right, now, how is that left corner looking? Is it flush?
You gotta come my way, 1/4 of an inch. Keep going.
That's all I got. The only thing is, that end has to be hammered up. So if you can hammer that up, it'll actually swing out while you're doing it. Oh, okay, oh. There you go. Does that give you the right location?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love this tape measure technique. How many of those do you go through every year?
0.
That's a nice tape then. All right, got it. Beautiful, thank you. Now, the leftover piece, Matt. That looks pretty damn solid to me, buddy. Yeah. Now, in a situation like this, because we're freehand cutting, right? If we have any issues, it's best to make sure that the edge where the water runs off is square and leave a gap at the top if we're a little shy. Not a big deal, all right? The membrane will still cover our gap, and then we're putting a hard surface on, right? So we get that benefit as well. Okay, there we go. Time for ice and water shield. All right, so you'll notice that it has this adhesive layer up here. This is for overlapping, okay? So what we do is we slide down here to begin with, push it over. This is my edge right to the corner. What I want to do is measure about 3 inches of overhang, and then about 3 inches of overhang, and then I just open her up. All the way across. And I'm going to need at least 3 of these, probably 4, okay?
3 or 4?
Well, at least 3, probably 4. Yeah. Okay. Now, so I'm just removing the plastic from the back side of the Band-Aid. Calling it a Band-Aid is kind of funny, but there we go. Now Matt's going to come over here. He's going to grab that plastic and then peel out the backside. That plastic is attached to your half of the membrane. Okay. So if you get up on the ladder and just pull it tight to the roof line, so you won't, does that make any sense? Yeah. So left to right, you just pull it all out. Yeah, exactly like that.
Satisfying.
And that exposes the adhesive on the back of the big Band-Aid here. Done. Okay. Roof. We now have a roof. That's that simple. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing with the next couple of rolls. The one other thing we got to do, Matt, is got to get a saw up here and chalk line this overhang and rip it off. Okay. All right. We just want to get this membrane in the right spot. This is not difficult. This membrane is actually quite forgiving, especially on a cooler day like today. The hotter it is out there, the faster it sticks. So, like I said, if you're in hot climate when you do this, do it first thing in the morning. All right, here we go. Here comes number 3. All right, guys, so let me just help you with the visualization. Matt, first, let's install this like by capping the black stuff. So that, watch the fold there. You don't want to wrinkle it. Okay, so this is what our plan is, right? We want to have it flush to here, basically. Okay, are you overhanging there enough to get a measurement?
Yeah.
Okay, and so in order to get this measurement, the black stuff is in the way. So we'll lift it, come underneath it. All right. Now I got to get up flush to here, and you're flush to that same board, right? This will give me my angle. Now the plan is to have this 5/4 from here and then higher, okay, so that the metal roof doesn't stick out of the face. So I'm going to mark the angle right there. So Matt can throw that on the chop saw. You got yours marked?
Yep.
Okay. Matt's going to mark his at the longest point and then add a 1/2 inch, because this is the the water on the backside is going to just fall off. The metal is going to be capped and covered and just fall off. So if the sides extend a little bit, it's just to make sure that nothing ugly and cut is exposed, right? So we're just hiding what we've done. Now that he's doing that, I'm going to take my knife, and anything that comes down past this 2x4, I'm going to trim off. This isn't about an exact science. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have anything ugly exposed. Everything here is pressure treated. And the point of this is just so that the edge, any water that gets past my edge, if it's going to be leaking out between this and the next fascia board, it leaks to pressure treated to water diversion. So I don't care. We'll do the same to the other side. I'm going to fold this in, kind of like doing a Christmas present. Fold this under. Okay, there we go. So you're good there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Now, I have to be dead flush here.
Yep.
Give me another 1/8 of an inch. That'll compensate for the overlap on the asphalt. Go ahead and screw that. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's exactly the look we're going for. Okay, all right. There we go. We want the overhang to be at the top because that's going to cover the metal roofing on the front side. There we go. Now, remember, you got about 1.5 inches of exposed. You just look at it this way. This is a 2x4 roof, which is 3.5 plus 3/4. So it's a 4.25 roof right now. So that means we have about 1 inch exposed up top. So don't throw a screw up top.
Okay.
All right, try to stay at least 1.5 out. Here we go. And you can tack that every 16. That looks just fine, bud. So now, when you look up, you see the rafters. There's no exposed area going into the building. All right. We got this trim board covering everything that's ugly. This will be stained in with the rest of this, I think. But we always have the option to turn this black. So this will be painted black. This will be painted black. This is all stained. This, I'd love to hear from you. Black or stained, okay? All right, back here, you can see we got our post. We got our 2x6 that holds it all together, that's carrying the structure. You can see here. And then we've got this piece here, the decorative piece, again, another 1/2 inch back, right? We built our roof, again, a little bit further, 1/4 inch out. And then our side, we come back another 1/2 inch back. Everything here is designed to continue extending out and out and out and out so that nothing's trapping and holding moisture. There's just nothing wrong with that look, right? There we go. Now, this needs to be pulled down. And I think we're gonna use a couple of flat roofing nails, a couple of big heads, and we'll just get those nails on there to hold it in place. And then our sheet metal will just extend back a little bit, 1/4 inch. Okay, all right, now, extend a little bit here, will you? I got a crack, there we go. And you're hanging down a little bit, right? Because I don't have the angle right. Can you come down to flush off the top? So you can get your mark?
Okay.
Okay, I'm flush off the top, I'll get my mark. Okay, there's my angle. Take your mark plus 1/2, and then you can take my angle and extend right through the whole board. You know this. You got this drill. I'm going to trim this sucker up. Oh, that is just right on the edge. No sense taking any chances. Okay, we got it. I got it. Okay, come to me an inch and a hair. And that'll work. Now, this particular board, it, whoa, okay, cool, that's funny. It has a propensity to want to bend, but now that we got a 2x4 sitting here, I can close that gap. Come on, baby. It's a little Rambo, but it'll keep that gap shut. There we go. That's a lot sexier now, eh? There you go. Okay. And we're marking flush, so I'll let you go first and then you can throw me the pencil. I don't want to throw marker on it. You actually want to trace out whatever curve you've got here. Now, if we try to make this perfectly square, it won't work. These are deck boards, they're going to warp, all right? Okay. Again, the best thing to do here is mark it and cut it a 1/4 inch longer than the farthest point.
Okay.
Okay?
On both sides?
Yeah, so what you don't want to do is, see how there's a curve here?
Okay.
You don't want to trace that and then cut that.
Right.
Because from the face, you're going to see this.
So you trace your line.
So you take the furthest point, add a 1/4 inch, and just cut it square off. Okay? So just visually figure out what point you're going to mark as your cut point. Because, here, take a look at this. Like even if I'm an inch off, inch overhang, once all that's painted black, a 1 inch overhang looks just fine.
So you're happy with how that looks?
Yeah.
So then I want to go with an inch overhang too.
Match a 1 inch overhang, but find the furthest point. There you go. And then you just throw a square on that at the furthest plus a 1. And grab the staples and stuff with my pliers before you bring that back. Okay. There's some crap in that board. I don't want to do that on a ladder. And there we go. It's nice and simple, just having a design style. We're not going to try to miter joints. Mitering joints on pressure treated lumber never works. It always shrinks, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to try using glues and adhesives and all that. Save your energy. Just do a nice little overhang. We're square, we're going to come an inch past, paint it all black. At the end of the day, it's a garden shed, right? So we're going to make it look pretty, but we're going to be smart enough not to try to turn this into a finished carpentry job right now. We just want to get it done and make sure that over all the seasons, expansion and contraction, I don't care how things warp or twist or lift or means nothing to me, okay? I'm never going to have to do any maintenance on this roof ever. All right, so I am an inch overhang at the bottom now. I'm feeling good about that. How are you? Is that too much?
I'm an inch and an eighth.
Okay, give me a squiggle.
That's good.
There you go. I'm happy with that. This board actually has a warp on it. So screw your end, and then we're going to...
I think it's easier to screw it and then...
You want to lift or do you want to hang?
I'd rather lift it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what you want to do, then that's fine. Okay. Go ahead. All right, now, here's the crazy part. I still want you to grab a couple of those black ones.
Okay.
And I want to go in the middle on 3 of these, like the first single, one in the middle, and another one over there, with your black screws. Okay.
Oh, I had another screw.
That's possible. Here, take it out and just angle up. There you go. The other, don't forget the other 2x4s are screwed pretty much the same location. So if it happens, it happens. Just change your angle of entry. Because it's an inch thick, right? And remember, 2x4s are at an angle, so if you screw in straight, you end up in the plywood or peeling things apart or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Brilliant. Oh, that is going to look so good stained up. And all that's going to do is just tie the entire roof package together so it can't delaminate if we get a little bit of frost or ice buildup upside. All right. Yeah, you saw that pull in, eh?
Yeah.
You can toss me that sucker now. And once this is all painted black, the fact that these aren't all centered isn't going to matter. All right, there we go. Ah, there we are. Sheet metal. Loving it. 3 sheets at about $55 Canadian a sheet, 8 feet long. Instant roof. There we go. Tight into that edge, tight up to the top. Low profile. We add a few screws. Bada bing bang boom. Instant roof. All right. Nice. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go with our structural screw drill bit, 1/4 inch hex head drive. The first part of my roof has got a 3/4 inch deck. This screw would penetrate, right? The screw itself is a 2 inch, so 3/4 is 1 1/4 inches. The height of the thickness of this metal, sorry, it is 3/4. So 3/4 and 3/4 means 1.5. So I got to be careful. I measure back 20 inches so that I'm inside the roof. Because if they stick through the roof sheathing, I don't care, but I don't want them wrecking that beautiful decorative edge. Now this is also where the overlap happens. So I'll start here, and it self-drills, pre-drills. Set it, and a bit of torque. Because this has a washer, but it's a rubber washer. So under compression, this metal edge here, wow, with these gloves you can't see, that's a metal washer on a rubber gasket washer, okay? So when it's compressed like that, you got a nice seal. All right, that's it. We're just gonna throw a few of these in. Nothing you can do about that. There's no way they're going to line this up with your rafters, because the rafters are every 16 on center, and these are every like 10 inches. But inside the shed, right? Okay, well, I don't care. That's fine. Now, because the roof is made with 2x4s on the outside, I can actually get over here and get the corner screwed down so it doesn't lift up in the wind. That's going to be fine. Go. That's it, guys. That's all we need to know. All right, we're going to throw another couple of rows of screws on, hold her in place, and that'll be fine. You don't let go until you absolutely have to. We'll get to sit on this while it's windy. Holy cow! All right, now here we go. There we are. Wow. Okay. Whoops, not doing that one. We're doing this one. All right. This is really easy stuff to work on when you have it on a flat deck. Woo! You don't have to be concerned with your strapping or the orientation of whatever wood framing you're using. Because everywhere I'm staring at is a screw surface. And for me, that is the perfect way to install a roof. Especially for DIYers. All right, let's get the last sheet up here too. I am just dying to know how well this fits. You don't have to pass where the ladder is. You can bring it up the side. I'll just walk it over into position. that isn't perfect. There's some measuring for you. Perfect overlay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Wow. Woo-wee! Well, folks, that is how you build a roof. This is the best DIY system I've seen anywhere on the internet. It's a combination of simplicity, waterproofing, durability, and precision that you're just not going to get out of any other building material. And it makes you feel safe the whole time you're up here because you're not on a crazy wooden structure that you're trying to put sheet metal on. You've got solid lumber under every step you make. The slope isn't overly exaggerated. Like, there's just so many benefits going on here. All right, now this is also, underneath here is a 2x4. So I can join that seam together. That screw won't pop out. There we go. Well, thanks for joining us on the video here today, guys. Make sure next week you're here. We're gonna be hanging the door, doing the ramp, and then making this place look beautiful. Because for all the ladies out there, you don't want to have a good looking shed and then lousy landscaping. So we got a quick little simple way to dress things up. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.